Hello. It's about 6:30 a.m. 6:30 a.m. I should say. A little bit after on Thursday, July 30th, and I did not sleep last night. I wanted to get to sleep early, as I mentioned in the last video, and then this is how I am. Whenever I'm about to travel or do something important, I need to get to sleep early. Then I paradoxically can't. So I stayed up all night. That's cool. And I'm supposed to be going to a show later tonight, so that's going to be high energy, and hopefully I'll still have energy for that. Usually being at the show, like, you get like an adrenaline rush from it, and even if you're already tired, like, you're not tired during it, maybe after. But at any rate, I'm heading to the bus stop right now to take me to the Amtrak station, since my new buddy that I met bought me a ticket and everything. So I'm going to be taking the Amtrak to DC today. I'm going to be leaving, the train leaves 7:30 and it's supposed to arrive around 10 a.m. So I should be in DC right around 10 a.m. And then I'll probably go and meet up with him right away so I can at least put my backpack down and stuff if I want to, I'm going to try to explore the town for a little bit during the day. But yeah, it'd be nice to drop the backpack off and be able to explore without the backpack. And then obviously, by nightfall, it's going to be time to head to the show. But we'll see. If he wants to like hang out and do stuff before the show, instead of just letting me wander on my own since we just met and everything, I'll probably prioritize that, because I do like to give people that take me in, peace of mind that I'm not going to murder them or something, or steal from them. So, priorities. But I do want to try to, walk around DC a little bit at some point and see some cool stuff. So hopefully that works out. Let's see how it goes. Alright, just got off the bus and now I have about a 10-minute walk to the Amtrak station. It's funny, the lady, when I stepped off the bus, the bus driver was like, "Have a good weekend." I'm like, weekend, lady, it's Thursday, but I can respect the wishful thinking, thankfully for me, every day is a weekend. Well, every day can't be a weekend, because a weekend is usually 2 days, right? But every day is a weekend day, at the very least. I also just realized that this will be the first time that I'm ever taking an Amtrak train. So, that's kind of cool. It's kind of weird, too, because, like, I'm obsessed with trains. You'd expect me to be the sort of person that has ridden an Amtrak train at least once before. But, no, I just, for every trip that it would have been, worth taking an Amtrak train for, because it was like a great enough distance, it would have just been too expensive. And I've taken the Long Island Railroad a million times, New Jersey Transit, the New York City subway, obviously. But nowhere, no Amtrak trains yet. Well, here's the Richmond Amtrak station. Not exactly sure where I have to go, but I hope it's this way. Well, this is weird. I got to the entrance of the station, and apparently it's closed, and instead of a train, I'm taking an Amtrak connection bus that goes straight up to DC. So I guess I won't be taking my first Amtrak train today. I'll be taking my first Amtrak bus, though. So that's interesting, I guess. Hey, now this place looks familiar. I'm here at Washington Union Station now. And I've actually been into this exact area before. I think I went into that very waiting room over there and hung out while I was waiting for a layover one time or something. Because I was just passing through. The last time I passed, I've probably done it multiple times, to be honest, but the last time I passed through DC, I think, was when I was coming back up to New York from Nashville, taking a Greyhound in 2024. So yeah, it's good to be back. I actually forgot that I had been here until I came back and was like, oh, yeah, flashback moment. But I'm going to now make my way to the Metro, which I think is down here, I guess, judging by the signs. Never taken the DC Metro before, so that'll be new. And yeah, I gotta take the red line up to the northeast to try to meet up with the dude who helped me out to help me get here and is giving me a place to stay and stuff. So let's go see if we can navigate to the metro thing here, the metro train. Alright, well, this is my platform, I guess. Train should be here in about 4 minutes.
This is a red line train to
I expected that ride to be all underground, but turns out I guess quite a large portion of the DC Metro is actually above ground. So that was cool. Got a nice view during that ride, and nice view from the station up here too, honestly. So it's pretty cool. I was not familiar with your game, DC. All right, now I am here at this bus stop, and I'm waiting on the bus to go to where I need to go. Is that my bus? No, I don't think so. I think I'm waiting on the P40 or something. The numbering system here is weird, but I'm sure after you are here for a little bit, you get the hang of it. I just don't really know what the numbers represent yet, so it just seems all over the place. Oh, P40, okay. This looks like where I'm looking for. Absolutely incredible. This is super rare. And an absolutely amazing album. Definitely recommend checking it out if you are not familiar. Yeah, so I'm hanging out at my my host's place here, and yeah, we've been hanging out for a couple hours. He's been putting me on to a lot of music, showing me his vinyl collection and stuff. As you guys just saw, he has a Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains Fight Like Hell vinyl, which is worth a couple $100. Pretty crazy. Amazing fucking album. New Mexico song is like my travel anthem, so I was super stoked to see that he had that. We listened to a little bit of that before, and then he showed me a bunch of new music from new bands that I had never heard of before. So really cool guy, and he was talking about possibly taking me freight hopping at some point, but we'll see about that. I'm not gonna hold him to it necessarily because we just met, and he was a little tipsy and stuff. We were both drinking a little bit, so he might not even fucking remember that he said that by tomorrow or whatever. But it's definitely cool of him to offer anyway. This is the spot.
That's sleepy, man.
I wake up at 7.
And by that, I'm being very, very sarcastic.
Alright, so it is next morning now. That was a fun show last night. I had a good time. And then, we headed back to my friend Bill's place here and went to sleep. I got to sleep, pretty late as usual, like 3 a.m., but I was finally able to sleep in tonight and catch up on some sleep, so that was nice. Bill's friend Graham also came with us to the show last night, and he's actually the son of Greg Graffin of Bad Religion, so that was cool, meeting him and hanging out with him. And he was a chill guy. We stayed up late tonight talking about fucking traveling and ethics and family and stuff like that, just a whole bunch of shit. And Yeah, Bill and Graham are both former travelers themselves. I think I might have mentioned that about Bill. I'm not sure if I did yet, but yeah, they're both former travelers. Very cool guys. We got to the show early last night, hung out with all the bands before the show and everything. Helped them take some of their stuff from their bus into the show, into the venue. So yeah, good night overall for sure. And I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do today. I was planning on just being in DC for a day, but I haven't even gotten to do like anything I had planned yet because, you know, it's just the plan kind of changed, you know, when I met Bill and he bought me the train ticket, and then I, you know, got here yesterday and came right here, and I napped for a little bit, then we went to the show, you know. Yeah, so I gotta figure out what I'm doing today. I don't know if Bill wants me to stay another night or if he wants to show me some more shit today or what. Graham was talking about possibly letting me stay with him too if he can convince his wife or whatever, but we'll see how that works out. So I'm gonna play it by ear. I'm gonna try to get out at some point today and, you know, film some stuff that I wanted to film, I guess. But yeah, I gotta see what Bill's doing, what he wants me to do and everything, you know, since he is my host, so I gotta be respectful. So I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll let you know what, if anything, of interest I end up doing today. I also picked up this cool looking patch at the show last night, by the way, which I will probably try to sew onto my hat or something pretty soon. So that's nice. Alright, it is just after 3 p.m. right now, and I'm headed downtown to go check out some of the more touristy stuff, honestly. My plan is to go to the National Mall and look at the monuments down, the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, you know, just real quick, just to get some iconic, you know, pictures and everything. And then I want to check out DuPont Circle, see if there's anyone cool hanging out around there, and just see what the vibe is like. I heard it might be cool. Oh, I want to go to Columbus Circle first, actually. So I'm going to go to Columbus Circle, then try to walk through the you know, the National Mall area towards the Lincoln Memorial, then up to DuPont Circle, and then I want to go up to Adams Morgan and check out a few little spots there that I've heard about. So yeah, that's the plan right now, and that's all I have planned for today, really. But later tonight I might figure out something else to go out and do, or tomorrow. My host Bill is he said I can crash at his place for one more night, so I'm probably going to end up, yeah, staying at his place tonight, like I said, and then leaving tomorrow morning to go to Baltimore. Yeah, I'm gonna try to take the MARC train to Baltimore. So yeah, that's the current plan, is to do it tomorrow morning, but we'll see if you know, if anything changes or whatever. I'm not in a rush, and I'm open to you know, playing things by ear, because I have, you know, my schedule is pretty flexible, obviously. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll meet you guys at Columbus Circle, I guess. Hey buddy, how's it going? I was just walking by this house, and this little dog is trying to get out to me. He's very interested in me. Hope you have a good one, my friend. Oh, he's running along the fence line to chase me. How cute. Oh, I always love seeing little cute dogs. Station's really popping today. I guess this is the peak activity hours or something. Alright, I have just gotten off the train. Fuck, I still have to take my smart trip card out again. I keep putting it back in my pocket and back in my little wallet thing, and then realizing I have to fucking tap out. I'm not used to having to tap in and out of the system, you know, because usually back in New York, you just have to swipe in or tap in or whatever, and then you're good. Here you have to actually tap in to get out, because it charges you a different price depending on how far you go, which is another thing I'm not really used to, because in New York it's just the same price to get into the subways, and you just pay like $3 to get in. But yeah, you can go as far as you want. You could ride the train back and forth all night, you know, do infinite transfers if you want to, as long as it's like a transfer inside the system. Yeah. But yeah, I'm heading outside New Union Station now, and Columbus Circle is going to be right outside. That's my first stop out here, and I'm going to go just check that out real quick. Yep, I'm back here. This is actually where I first came at. Went here in the opposite direction really, because I went down that escalator when I first got here to get to the metro, to get to my friend's place, and now I'm coming back up that escalator, and I'm back here. I actually smoked a cigarette out here when I first got into town yesterday, and immediately someone came up and tried to get a cigarette off me. To be fair, they didn't like bum a cigarette off me. They asked to buy one for $1, so I respect that. So I gave it to them. I didn't ask, I was like, you can keep the $1. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna look for Columbus Circle. I'm not sure exactly where Columbus Circle is, but it's on like one of the sides of this building, and yeah, I'm gonna go look at it. I hear that there might be a pretty entrenched local home bum population around this area, which makes sense because, you know, the areas around train stations do tend to generally be like that. You know, you tend to see a lot of home bums trying to panhandle from the travelers and bum smokes and stuff. So this actually might be Columbus Circle right here, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think this is actually it. A fountain that's actually turned on. How nice. Yeah, we'll cross the street up here at the crosswalk and we'll check this out briefly, but I'm not gonna spend too long around here because I heard this might not be the best place to hang out if you don't want to get, you know, harassed by home bums or whatever. So we'll see what's up over there after we cross the street. Yeah, we haven't even crossed the street yet. We can already see, you know, the sort of thing I'm talking about. Someone's sleeping right there. I imagine we'll probably find people, you know, probably people over there. Some of those people over there are probably home bums too, just hanging out in the shade. I mean, nothing wrong with that. You know, nothing wrong with just fucking sleeping outside or hanging out in the shade or whatever, but usually you gotta be a little more careful with the home bum populations like this that tend to be in like more busy downtown areas around train stations and stuff, because those are usually the ones that are addicted to drugs or super mentally ill or whatever for one reason or another. You know, the more chill home bums, I find, generally try to get to more quiet, secluded spots away from like the chaos. Well, this is really quite nice, isn't it? Not too bad, Columbus Circle, not too bad. From here I'm going to be heading approximately due west. I think that way. That looks about correct. I mean, you can see the Capitol building right there. At least I think that's what that is. And yeah, we're going to be heading towards the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument and all that nice stuff. So yeah, apparently I have about a 40-minute walk to the Washington Monument at least, which is like right in the center of the whole National Mall area. So I'm gonna be heading that way. Looks like I have, like, you know, the city has a pretty healthy system of walking trails and stuff, biking trails. So I think I'll be able to be like pretty much on walking trails in, you know, green space like this for most of the walk there. So that's actually quite cool, quite refreshing compared to a lot of cities that don't have a lot of that make you just have to walk on wide ass fucking stroads and highways all the time, constantly at risk getting hit by cars. It looks like that might not be the case for us today, so that will be a welcome change of pace. Dude, my map is getting me turned around like crazy right now. I can't seem to decide what direction I'm facing or going at any given time. It keeps like giving me mixed signals. I don't even know what the hell that building is over there yet. This is a cool little area though. Nice fountain up there and stuff. No shade really though, so that kind of sucks. This is nice. But I think I'm still supposed to be heading in approximately this direction. Not really sure, but we'll figure it out, I guess. We always do, right? Oh, I guess this is the Senate Fountain that I'm coming up on right here. I think that's what it's called. That's what it says on the map anyway. Also, I looked at the satellite view and I was like kind of totally wrong about the green space thing. Looks like I'm actually be walking across quite a lot of concrete in the sun, as it turns out. For some reason it all looked green on the map, and then I switched to satellite view and it was like, oh, It's actually a lot less green than I thought. So yeah, beautiful little fountain here. Continuing this way. Oh, and by the way, I'm pretty sure that building actually is the Capitol, now that I have got my bearings on the map. Because, yeah, I looked over in that direction on the map, it said U.S. Capitol grounds. So that explains why it looks like, well, what I understand the Capitol building to look like anyway. One thing I've noticed about D.C. as well is that, I mean, this might be expected, you might already know this, but there's lots of cops around here. Federal cops, too. So this doesn't really seem like the best place to fuck around and, you know, try to sleep outside and rough it and shit. Seems like a better place to come if you know someone you can stay with and stuff. So I kind of lucked out by finding someone that I could stay with for a couple days. But I will say, if you have that and you don't have to be walking around with a backpack and drawing the wrong kind of attention to yourself and stuff, then it is quite a nice little city to walk around and explore. At least, you know, from my first impression so far. Yeah, it looks like I'm back to walking along roads now, but at least this place has big wide sidewalks, so it's still quite pedestrian friendly even when there's lots of car traffic. That's pretty funny. On the side of a porta potty. Trump's accomplishments. Clever. Another interesting looking monument. This town has a lot of them, as one would expect. Not sure what exactly this represents or who is depicted on it or whatever, but looks cool. Man, I've probably been walking for less than an hour. I'm already sweating and realizing I forgot my fucking water again and that I should have brought it. This is quite inconvenient. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but it is what it is. Just have to buy a drink again somewhere, I guess. Another cool fountain of some sort. And that's the National Gallery of Art. Lots of significant landmarks all over the place around here. Can't go 5 minutes without passing some kind of significant landmark, it seems. Here is the Federal Trade Commission building with another interesting statue in front of it with a guy wrestling with a horse or something. That horse looks fucking brawlic as hell, man. Looks like we're starting to get into a part of town where you see the street vendors and everything. Used to seeing lots of that in Midtown New York City, and really all over New York City, honestly. Dude, I'm wearing my my regular baseball cap today, and man, the sun is beating down so hard. I'm thinking maybe I should have worn my boonie hat today to protect my ears more, because this is kind of intense. Hello, how's it going?
Have a good day.
You too. Yeah, pro tip: if anyone tries to come up to you, sell you something or whatever, just if you point a camera at them and say, hey, really enthusiastically, then they'll leave you alone. At least that seems to be how it worked out for me. Yeah, I just bought this bottle of water from a street vendor. It was overpriced, of course. He was trying to sell them for $3 each. I at least talked him down to $2. I was like, all right, fuck it. It's a little bit expensive, but at least it's not $3, you know, and I kind of just need something to drink right now. This is the sculpture garden. I guess there's sculptures in there. Usually it's open until 5 p.m., but today's Friday, and it closes at 4 p.m. on Friday, so I guess it's closed today since it's like 4:17 right now, so we just missed it. But it's alright, we have other stuff to see. Some people sitting here watching the cars go under the overpass, whatever. I don't know what you would, well, I guess the bottom road would be the overpass. I guess they're driving on the underpass, going under the overpass, because that would be technically the way to say it. Not sure exactly what that is over there, but there's a carousel and everything. It's kind of interesting. And this that we're coming up to up here is the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History, I believe, which is kind of cool. My aunt and uncle actually work here, or at least they used to work here. They might not anymore. I haven't been in touch with them for a little bit, but they are or were botanists and worked here for a number of years at least. So I came and visited when I was a kid one time actually, but I haven't visited since I've been an adult. I think it's free. Oh yeah, it says right here, free admission. So it is free. So it's always, you know, this is a lovely place to visit for anyone really. Even if you're, you know, no matter what kind of budget you're on. If you're coming to DC and you haven't been here before, you should definitely check it out. But I don't really have time to be, you know, spending a couple hours at the museum today, because I've still got a lot of walking to do. So I'm going to continue on here. Oh, and I guess that over there is the Smithsonian Castle, that thing that I wasn't sure what it was, which I had never even heard of before, but yeah, the Smithsonian has a castle, I guess, so that's cool. Oh, well, that looks familiar. Looks like we're getting closer to where we're going. DC seems to have a lot of these roads, like cutting through the city underneath other roads and stuff too. Like, it's pretty cool. And here we also have the Smithsonian Museum of American History, I believe. So they've got the Science Museum and the American History Museum. So that's pretty cool. Yep, that thing definitely looks pretty tall, especially in person. Looks like someone else is filming something over there, so looks like I'm not the only one who had that idea today. Oh, is that guy filming me too? It's funny. This building is very architecturally interesting. How it's got that almost like a reverse pyramid shape. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a fucking I don't know. But this is the Museum of African American History, I think. So good on you guys for having such a cool building. Yep, we're getting really close now, and it is very tall. I don't know what else to say. It looks cool, it's tall, whatever. I'm gonna keep moving west towards the Lincoln Memorial, and then we'll maybe get a better view of this with the reflecting pool and everything. Assuming the reflecting pool is actually being reflective right now, and it's not, you know, neon green or whatever the fuck has been going on with it lately. We'll see. This is another cool water feature here. I guess DC certainly isn't having a water shortage. Atlantic and Pacific. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. That's the Lincoln Memorial over there that we're heading towards. All these little things around this area have different names of states on them. And there's New York, my beloved. Oh shit, I thought I'd be able to exit in that direction too if I walked around this area, but looks like I have to go all the way back there and go around, or maybe I can go to the side over here and get out. We'll see. In Virginia, that's where we were just at. Oh yeah, I think that's where the reflecting pool usually is, and looks like that shit's still closed for repairs for now. Oh well. I just took a little break on a bench for a while, but I'm continuing to move on now towards the Lincoln Memorial. I just talked to this guy named Clinton, who was a street vendor here. He was selling water and Gatorades and stuff, and he seemed pretty cool. He was, we talked for a little bit. He was talking about how he lived in DC his whole life, and he used to work for the government and stuff, and then he got into, I guess, just doing like street vending and stuff. He's, sold various things on the streets, hats and whatever else. And now he's selling drinks, I guess. At least today, it's a hot day, so it's a good day for that. But maybe if it was raining, he'd be selling umbrellas. A lot of street vendors will switch up their merchandise depending on the occasion. But it was kind of funny. At one point, this guy comes by, and he's like, Clinton is there, like, hawking his waters, and the guy comes by, he's like, how much is the water, $1? And Clinton just closes the fucking water cooler and just looks at him he gives him this glare, this angry glare, and just says nothing, just stares him down with his death stare. And after the guy walks away, he's like, I hate those motherfuckers. And he starts going on a rant about how apparently black people are like, he says, like, consistently it's always the black people that come and say stupid shit like that to me and are always trying to lowball me. And he went on this whole rant about the black community and how since he was black as well, he said, if I was white out here selling shit, then the black people would be good to me, because the black people love everyone else. They just don't love each other, and he was, talking about how there's issues in the black community with people killing each other and just generally being out to get one another. But, it was an interesting perspective, I guess, but I didn't really, get on camera or anything. But anyway, here we are at the, at this side of the reflecting pool. See, normally it would be, reflecting the monument. It was nice and everything, but of course it's, it's all just black right now and boring, so that's nice. But this is the Lincoln Memorial right here. You can see him sitting in his chair up there, so we'll walk up these steps real quick and look at that, and then we'll move on out of this, super touristy area. I imagine DuPont Circle might still be a little touristy, but it's probably gonna be more locals hanging out there too, compared to here. This is probably just like all fucking tourists. And I don't get me wrong, I love tourists, especially when I'm, the local, and I'm making money off the tourists or whatever. But in this case, I am also kind of the tourist. So I'm looking more to, when I'm the tourist, I'm looking more to meet locals. And when I'm the local, I'm looking to meet tourists, as well as other locals, of course. I always love meeting locals, but anyway, I digress. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people for whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. How sweet. What a good guy. Good guy, Lincoln. Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, now I have like a 30 to 40 minute walk to DuPont Circle, apparently, so that's fun. More walking in the sun, and I'm out of water. Ironic, because I was just talking to that guy Clinton, who was a water vendor. I was hoping he'd, throw me a freebie or something after the chat, but he, no shot, and I wasn't gonna pay $3 for another water, and I also wasn't going to try to lowball him like that other guy did, because I didn't want him to give me the same death stare. So, I'll just keep moving on and hopefully find somewhere I can get a reasonably priced drink on my way there. Alright, I just managed to find a water fountain and refill my water bottle, so I didn't have to spend more money on a drink. That's nice. I think I ended up in the middle of some tour group or something. I'm not really sure. Looks like a walking tour group with how densely everyone is packed together. But let's just try to go around that. Oh, it was. That was the tour guide right there. I assume you could probably just kind of get into one of those walking tour groups and just casually start following them around and get the walking tour for free without having to pay. Because I imagine you probably have to pay. I doubt that was a free walking tour. It could already be a free walking tour, who knows. But if it's not, with how easily I was able to get lost in that little throng of people there, you could probably just snag yourself a free walking tour if you're nonchalant about it and you just act like you're supposed to be there. This is interesting. Looks like they're maybe this is to commemorate nurses in combat, like combat medics helping a fallen soldier or something. Seems to be what that seems to depict. Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Look at this thing that this dude is driving. What the fuck is that? I've never seen something like that before in my life. I've seen a lot of little micro mobility things and tiny cars and everything, but that one is new. It's like almost like a go-kart thing mixed with a car. I'm not gonna cross here. Don't wanna get hit. Alright, now we can cross. Probably gonna stop at Chipotle on my way to fucking DuPont Circle, honestly, because there are a couple Chipotles on the way, and it'll be another bit of a splurge, but at least I have a little bit of funds left from my time, that I had from people giving me money the other day and stuff, because I managed to live pretty frugally in Richmond, and I haven't had I haven't really spent money on dinner in a few days, so I think I can justify another splurge, because again, I'm at the point where I'm skimping on food. I ate some fucking granola bars this morning. I had tater tots. I ordered tater tots last night at the bar, and that was all I ate all day. So I need to get something decently heavy inside me, especially after I've been walking a little bit. And so I'm just gonna say fuck it and go to Chipotle, because I was looking for local vegan places that would have something cheaper, but everywhere I found just seemed really expensive. So I don't know if there's really much in the way of cheap food around here, especially cheap vegan food. So I think my best bet is just going to be to just go to Chipotle and spend fucking 15 bucks again or whatever. So let's do it. Honestly, I don't have that much of an issue getting by on like one meal a day, like one decent meal a day. You know, usually I need like snacks or smaller things, but like if I can just get one like full-size meal a day, then I can pretty much live off granola bars and peanut butter and tortillas and shit the rest of the time. But if I don't even get one good, decently sized meal a day, then I start getting fucking hungry and like just losing energy real fast. So that's no good. Yeah, the street numbering system and naming system here is definitely not as intuitive as New York City. Because here you have like, see, this says, did I say East? Oh, E Street. Yeah, I'm on E Street. So you have streets that are named after numbers, or letters rather, and then you have numbers as well. This is 21st Street Northwest, or 21 Street. I actually don't even know how it's pronounced. I assume it's 21st. But yeah, you have the numbers, and then you have the letters, and then you have streets named after states too. Rhode Island Avenue was like the bus stop that I was at, near where I'm staying, and yeah, so I don't really know how any of these, like I assume that like, I don't know, maybe the state named streets are in alphabetical order or something. Maybe, I mean, the numbered streets are obviously in numbered order, and that the letter streets are in alphabetical order, but it's not clear to me how each of those systems like relates to one another. So, you know, if I'm on like W Street and I'm trying to get to fucking like Main Avenue, like Main the state, not Main MAIN, then I don't exactly know. You know, it wouldn't be clear to me how to navigate just by, you know, the street names alone. So, but to be fair, I mean, most cities are probably like that. New York City has kind of spoiled me with how easy it is to navigate just by looking at the fucking street signs. And to be fair, you know, it's not like that as much outside of Manhattan. You know, outside of Manhattan, the streets can get a little confusing, but at least in Manhattan, it's just like an absolute dream to navigate. Museum. Huh. Apparently it's a museum of some sort. Not sure which one. It says Albert H. Small Center for National Capital Area Studies. So maybe that's it. Some kind of geography museum? Local history museum? I don't really know. I think it might be on the, yeah, it looks like we're on the George Washington University campus. So I think the campus probably, you know, is scattered out all around this general area. So it's a quiet, quaint little area, peaceful, chill, you know. I think I just basically said 4 synonyms for the same sort of concept. But yeah, basically, if you come here, you're probably not going to be dealing with any crackhead home moms or anything, because this is a college towny sort of vibe to it, this area. And I think that, well, we'll see. I was going to say the same will probably be true of the DuPont Circle area, but I don't know. I've heard that like the tolerance for craziness in DuPont Circle goes way down after dark, and like there's no, you know, if you try to camp in that park or act too wild there at night, you're going to get fucked up by the cops. But maybe during the day it's a little crazier, who knows. And as for Adams Morgan, I imagine that'll be a similar vibe, probably pretty gentrified and chill. I don't really know if there'll be like home bums hanging out there or anything, and especially during the day, you know, that's like a nightlife district. But I might try to go back at night, honestly, because I just realized it's Friday night. I wasn't expecting to be here for Friday night, but now it's like Friday night. I'm like, man, I could go film Friday night in Adams Morgan, but if I did, I'd either have to stay out here all day, because it's like 6 p.m. right now, not even, and I have to stay until nighttime, or I'd have to go back to the place I'm staying and then come back out here again later and then go back again, which would mean I have to pay even more subway fare and everything, which would be kind of annoying, because I'm not like kind of burning through my money here, you know. I don't have money to be just willy-nilly taking the metro back and forth, you know, all around town a million times while I'm here or anything. So I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum. So I'll have to decide what to do there. But I do want to try to get to Adams Morgan at night and film there, because I think it would be quite cool to check it out and see, you know, what the nightlife there is actually like, since I've heard so much about it. Well, this is funny. I found Chipotle, but I'm on the wrong side of this fence here. in this parking lot. I thought I could fucking cut through here, but I guess not. So I think I have to go all the way around somehow. This way, maybe. I don't know. It's always one thing after another, you know. Oh, okay. This is the problem. I think Chipotle's inside this like mall thing, this Western Marketplace. I guess it's like some kind of mall, or like some kind of food court thing. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's like a whole ass food court type thing. All right, well, I'll find something to eat here. Probably Chipotle, like I said, because I doubt there's much other vegan shit. But I guess I'll look around for a minute. Yeah, I think this place is actually maybe owned by George Washington University, so it's mostly like an eating place for George Washington University students. But, you know, it's free for anyone to come in, I guess. Still not exactly sure where the fucking Chipotle is that I'm trying to find. Thought it would be around here somewhere, but yeah, most things in here are probably going to be overpriced, it looks like. Which means that Chipotle is right at home here, I guess. Okay, this is interesting. I had to leave the fucking place and go outside to come back in from the outside. Alright, I have just left Chipotle. I'm heading back through this food market. Figured out because looks like I was in like an enclosed parking lot there, and maybe there was a way out, but it would have been, I think, in the opposite direction that I want to go. So I'm just going to go this way. And I'm going to continue on the way that I'm going towards DuPont Circle. Oh look, they have a book vending machine. That's so cool. I've never seen that before. And yeah. So I'm gonna head towards DuPont Circle. I'm like a 20-minute walk away now at this point. Now some of you might be thinking, wow, Steven, you just got Chipotle like 3 times in a week. How the hell are you spending so much money when you're homeless? And that's the thing, like when you are, you know, voluntarily homeless, and you don't have expenses like rent and water and electricity bills and stuff and all that normal shit that people usually have to worry about paying for, you have a lot more financial flexibility to, you know, to splurge a little bit when it comes to food and treats, you know, drugs if that's your thing, you know, just fun in general. You know, that's actually part of what draws so many people to the traveler lifestyle, because they're like, fuck, man, rent is most people's biggest expense if you think about it. And then like transportation is the second biggest one. So if you're getting rid of most of your rent and transportation related expenses, or housing, shelter related expenses, I should say, in general, then you're going to be saving a lot of money. So if you're just willing to sleep outside and couch surf, then you can have Chipotle 3 times a week just like me. And I just realized I was going the absolute wrong direction while I was distracted. How the fuck does that always happen? Anyway, I'm only a block in the wrong direction, so I should be fine. I'm just gonna go this fucking way, because I think this is the correct direction and will lead to the right place anyway. And I don't feel like backtracking, so I'm just gonna go this way, because I haven't gone this way yet. Yeah, the reason I'm getting turned around so much, because on fucking Google Maps for some reason, it's like consistently showing me to be facing in a direction that I'm not. It's consistently showing me to be facing like 90 degrees away from my actual direction. So I keep looking and thinking, yes, I need to go this way. And it turns out I actually needed to make a right or whatever. It's really fucking frustrating. And it certainly doesn't help that these streets all intersect at such weird fucking angles. Like, I'm like, what street is that? You know, is that coming off at 90 degrees, or is that coming off at a fucking, like, there's like 3 different streets, I think, that intersect there. And it's hard for me to tell on the map, like, which one is which, and like whether, you know, it's like, oh, well, this looks like a right turn, but is it, you know, actually a right turn, or is it like a slight right turn, you know, going off in an angled diagonal direction? It's all just, I long for the street grids of Manhattan. I just want to be able to understand it. Son of a bitch. I just knocked my phone out of my hand, because I got my finger caught on the tether, and then I just I got the bottle cap of my water actually caught on the tether and yanked it away and yanked my phone in my hand, but thankfully it has a pretty hefty case on it, pretty heavy duty case, so it didn't break or anything. The case saves the day. Honestly, my phone case and my phone cases in general for previous phones too have saved my ass more than I can count, so shout out to phone cases. And if you don't use a phone case, you're taking your life in your hands, or you're just got more money than you know what to do with. More money than too much money for your own good. See, this is another another one of these weird intersections that I was talking about. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to figure out how to navigate this shit? I was just like, okay, it's just straight down this street to DuPont Circle. And then I get here, I'm like, wait, is it there or there? I almost got fucking lost again. Jeez, man, these intersections are just wild. DuPont Circle. Here it is. So I have to walk across more strange crosswalk routes. Alright, I think I'm good. And here we are at the little DuPont Circle Park. The center of the action in DC. I'm told this is the city's outdoor living room. And it sure looks like a lot of people are doing a lot of living here, so that's pretty cool. And yet another fountain, theme of the day. I don't see any buskers here yet though, so that's kind of surprising. I was sort of expecting there to be at least one or two buskers hanging out around here. Don't seem to see any travelers either, but who knows? There's so many people around here. Hell, that guy's past could be a traveler. He had a backpack on. You never know. Some travelers travel pretty light. Not everyone has a giant ass fucking 60-liter pack that probably weighs 40 or 50 pounds like I do, you know? Some people actually know how to pack and shit. Someone's laying out over there with a tarp or something, it looks like. But again, you know, could be a traveler, could just be an ordinary person on a picnic or whatever. You never know. And there's the chess tables. The chess hustlers are out and about today, as always. Just like in Union Square in New York City, you know. Wouldn't be a poppin' city without the chess hustlers. Oh, and of course the pigeons too. My favorite bird, the symbol of New York City. Who would have thought that I would be seeing them all the way over here? No, I'm kidding. Obviously, pigeons are in pretty much every city. Like, wherever there's a sizable human population, there are probably going to be pigeons, as well as rats. But those two things still always remind me of New York, you know. It feels nice to just sit in the shade and relax for a bit, you know. People watch. People watching is always one of my favorite things to do, after all. And this definitely seems like a good spot to do it, because there's lots of people doing lots of stuff around here, especially walking and sitting, but probably other stuff too if you look close enough. You know, there's more than meets the eye. It's like between 6:30 and 7 now, and since it's actually getting so late, I will probably really just kill a little time here, and then go north to Adams Morgan, and then maybe kill a little bit more time there and hang out until after dark. I decided I probably will just hang out until after dark rather than going back and forth and everything, because it's getting kind of late anyway, so it'll be getting dark within a couple hours, and really, you know, time flies when I'm having fun and people watching and just chilling out. Sometimes maybe I'll listen to some music or whatever, but I'm sure I'll be able to find something to do. I mean, even just walking there and filming and stuff will probably take me close to another hour, and then, you know, at most maybe I'll have to kill an hour or something, but I can do that pretty easily. It's not a big deal. I was just sitting on the bench, people watching, and I guess the guys, there were a couple old dudes next to me that were people watching as well, and man, they were it was a little uncomfortable, man, sitting so close to these guys, because they kept like ogling a bunch of you know, random women, just going, oh, look at that one, oh, she's hot, man, you know, and just kind of talking about all the women that they were seeing like they were fucking pieces of meat. That was a little sketch. And then the one guy like makes the strangest segue ever. He starts talking about how he's like, man, I never thought I'd end up being a dirty old man, but I guess I'm turning into a dirty old man now. What is this, fucking military guy standing here? What do they think they're doing? What are they here for? But anyway, yeah, he was talking about how he like fucking works at a school with you know, little kids, and he's like, I just want to look at people. I don't want to fuck them or anything, but even like some of these kids at the school, you know, I look at them like, oh, damn, she's pretty cute. You know, I don't want to fuck them or touch them or anything. I just, you know, I'm like, bro, like, at least thank you for clarifying that you don't want to fuck them. Although I don't know how much I trust you if you even, you know, are willing to say something like that, like talk about kids in that context in the first place. But like, where do these people get off, man? Like, why do people feel comfortable, like, saying some shit like that in public? I mean, I guess he was just talking to his friend or whatever. Maybe his friend's a fucking pedophile too. I don't know. Maybe they have that kind of camaraderie going on. But yeah, you know, the fact that he was saying it loudly enough for me to be in earshot of it was a little disturbing, and I was honestly, quite frankly, kind of surprised that that he would feel comfortable doing that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna be heading further north soon to towards Adams Morgan, and I'm gonna check that out. Check out a few places there. There's like this bar I wanted to just talk about briefly that has this, I guess, an interesting gimmick. And then there's like a little bookstore I wanted to go to, and maybe a record store if they're still open, back at the Chess Hustlers. So we'll see how that goes. Just judging by the sort of general vibe over at those chess tables, I'm wondering if that's the spot where people sell drugs and shit, because that's kind of how it is in New York City. You know, there's like the chess tables at Tompkins, and everyone's always selling drugs around there. The chess tables at Union Square, you know, maybe less drug activity over there, but still some drug activity. And it looks like people are just kind of hanging out aimlessly. And, you know, not to judge people hanging around aimlessly, because I'm sure lots of people think that I'm doing suspicious shit when I'm just hanging around aimlessly too, because that's what you have to do sometimes when you live outside. But yeah, I don't know, man. Those guys don't look homeless. They just look like they're out here to make some money or something. But that's just my vibe. I don't know. At any rate, I'm not trying to buy any drugs today, so I guess we're not going to find out today. Always nice to see these dedicated water bottle refilling stations. I've only seen them a couple other places. I think I saw them. I mean, I'm sure New York City has them, but besides that, I saw them in Nashville. Yeah, and I saw them in Richmond, actually, but they weren't working. The water fountains in Richmond weren't working because of the whole water shortage thing. So that's unfortunate, but it is cool to see them here. You know, always love when the public infrastructure encourages people to bring their own water bottles, not to constantly spend money on more and more drinks like I've been doing, like a dumbass. Got a donkey right there. I think this is the Women's Democratic Club or something, so I guess it makes sense. Alright, I'm now on 18th Street, which I believe is like the main street here in Adams Morgan. Well, I don't think I'm Adams Morgan yet. I think I have to go further north of that. But once I get to Adams Morgan, 18th Street here is the main street. So I'm pretty much just going to be walking along here for 15 minutes or so until I get to the interesting parts of town. Now, I hear that the architecture is pretty cool in Adams Morgan. Very unique compared to the rest of DC. And just that there's a bunch of interesting little, you know, shops and nightlife places and stuff, so sounds like a cool little area to check out. So that's why I'm going here, you know. And if I were to be trying to fly a sign to make money, even though I probably won't do that tonight, because I'm not in desperate need of money right now, I would probably, this would be the place that I would do it. You know, maybe DuPont Circle during the day, but at night for the drunk shift, which is usually when I do the best, when I make the most money, you know, appealing to the drunk people outside of bars and shit. This is where I would go, because this is like the cool nightlife district. At least there might be other nightlife places, but this seems to be my scene, at least more so than any other neighborhood in DC, based on my research at least. Okay, I'm at S Street. It looks like I see another. Dude, how come both the times today that I looked at the street sign and saw a lettered street, it was a compass direction. At first I thought it was East Street, and then I just thought that was South Street. But then I was like, wait, no, it's East Street and S Street. That shit will confuse you when you're used to seeing, you know, those letters represent compass directions in other cities. Yeah, so you know how I was just talking about how it's stupid to be having to buy drinks all the time, and I like how there's free water? Well, I just bought a Pepsi. Yeah. I'm falling back into my old habits. It's funny, I was like, a couple weeks ago, I resolved to only drink water, or mostly drink water from now on. Like, I'm just going to be drinking water all the time when I'm traveling, man. Like, you know, I can't afford to be drinking these sugary drinks that are just going to dehydrate me and make me want to spend more money. And, you know, meanwhile, I guess I really am too addicted to the sugary drinks, because I didn't even need a drink right there. I had water that I just got, but I was like, oh man, I'm passing a gas station, let me go grab a fucking, something sweet. And I had to get the Pepsi. But at least it was just a little over $2, so I mean, cheaper than the guy was trying to sell me that water bottle before I haggled him down to $2, So I'll take it. I've seen more expensive bottles of Pepsi for sure. Oh boy, now comes time to walk up a hill. Fun. Always love walking up hills. Holy shit, at least I don't have to walk up that hill though. There's hills everywhere. I mean, a lot of these places definitely look pretty nice and interesting with all their neon signs and stuff. So I can see what they meant about the building starting to look more interesting. Look, that building's a weird shade of purple over there. You got like a red building, a purple building, all kinds of strange colored buildings around here. Oh, this is Smash Records. This is actually one of the places I want to check out. Punk, hardcore, indie rock, and more. Yeah, this is a record store, as the name suggests. And I guess they have vintage clothes and stuff too. So, seems like a pretty cool spot. I'm gonna go in and check it out. Alright, so I just left there, and I looked through a patch binder. They had a bunch of cool shit, but nothing that I was really interested in, because a lot of the stuff that I thought was cool, well, I thought there was a lot of stuff that was cool, but the lot of stuff that I thought was particularly cool that I might have wanted to buy was like a little too big, because I'm looking for small stuff that I can probably put on like a hat or something. I don't have any like crust pants to put to put patches on yet. I mean, generally, when it comes to pants, it's like a little different than hats. Like usually, with your hat, you put patches on it willy-nilly. With your pants, you generally just patch it as you actually need to patch your pants, because they rip. And right now, the pants that I have are pretty new. None of them are ripped or anything, so I don't particularly need to put patches on my pants at the moment. So I'm mainly looking for hat patches, and unfortunately, a lot of the ones in there were a little too big, so it didn't really work out. But it was still nice to be able to go in there and look around. I'm looking for a place over here. I heard about some bar over here that has this interesting gimmick. I was telling you guys about it before. It's called like Dan's Cafe or something, and they apparently have these like squeeze bottles. I'm not sure which one of these buildings it is. It's got to be one of these, I think. But apparently they have these squeeze bottles of oh wait, is that it? No, I don't think so. I think they have these squeeze bottles of alcohol. They come in like these squeeze bottles of the same sort that you would get at like a restaurant, that usually would hold like condiments, like ketchup or mustard or whatever. And yeah, they put like liquor inside these squeeze bottles and like mixers and stuff, I guess. And they have this gimmick where you can you're allowed to mix your own drinks. They give you like the ingredients, and So I mean, it definitely sounds like kind of a scam to me. It's like, well, to be fair, the drinks are probably they're supposed to be reasonably priced, but they better be reasonably priced when I'm doing the labor that the bartender is supposed to be doing and mixing my own drink, you know what I mean? But I guess if some people are into that, then that's cool, as long as they don't, as long as they aren't having to pay a premium just to fucking mix their own drinks. That would be a little ridiculous. Jumbo Slice Pizza. I've heard that place is good. For people who are into pizza, I guess. I'm vegan, so I'm probably not gonna eat anything there. I don't know if they have vegan pizza or anything, but I heard that when it comes to getting a lot of food for your money or whatever, you can go there, and apparently they have like really big slices or whatever. So I guess if anyone is in a pinch and needs to get a decent amount of food quickly for a reasonable price, then you can try that place out if you happen to be around here. And if you're not a vegan, which if you aren't a vegan, you should be, but nobody's perfect, right? Oh, there's this Jumbo Slice Pizza place too. I guess maybe when I heard about the Jumbo Slice Pizza, it wasn't about that specific shop. Maybe it was just maybe that's just a thing around here, because there's a pizza place there too. I guess there's like a bunch of pizza places all along this street that all do what they call the Jumbo Slice thing. I mean, I imagine it's the same as the fucking, as like a New York slice or whatever, because everyone says that New York slices are huge too. I've never considered them to be that big. It's like an eighth of a pizza, whatever. It's standard, you know. But yeah, I guess everyone likes their pizza around here. So there's an Irish pub. Now I can definitely see how this is a nightlife district. Sorry, we're open. Funny. Oh, Julia's empanadas. That's cute. I like empanadas. Ooh, and they even have vegan empanadas. Sweet potato with collard greens, carrots, sauteed onion, and lentils. Vegan special. Wow. Doesn't sound like too bad of a little deal. But again, I'm sure it's expensive, and I just ate, so I pretty much used up my whole meal budget for the day. I can't really afford to buy more than one meal per day. So that's, you know, I got my Chipotle, and that'll be good for now until tomorrow. Adams Morgan. Looks like a very gay neighborhood. My kind of place, honestly. Oh, I just realized I was distracted and walked way farther than I needed to. I thought I had to go a lot farther, but no, I'm actually going back here across the street. I'm trying to go to Lost City Books next, because it's just like this little bookstore, you know. I heard it's got good prices on books and everything. Obviously, I already have a book that I picked up in Richmond, so I'm not trying to like collect too many books or anything. I can't really afford to do that with how much you know, limited space and carry capacity I have. But I would at least like to look around and see if it's nice. I mean, most, you know, locally owned used bookstore type places are, so I have high hopes, you know. Oh, here's the place. The first thing I was like, what the hell's going on? Is it yes, LGB, oh, LCB, oh, Lost City Books. I was like, what? And I was like, these guys aren't anti-trans, are they? Upcoming summer sale, August 20% off everything. Oh, how nice. I don't know if these are free or just like on display in the front. Usually book places will put like free books out front, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing here. But yeah, we're gonna check this place out and see if it's any good. I guess this is like children's books back here. Memoirs, creative nonfiction. Not sure where all the books are, or all the used books, I should say. They might just be among this stuff. Like there might be, these might all be used books for all I know. I'm not sure. They might be upstairs. Would you look at that? Eliezer Yudkowsky and Nate Soares. Huh, I guess this bookshop is pretty cool after all. They have a whole section on Marx. That's interesting. Oh hey, I had this book once, this exact version of it. But then my backpack got stolen. I lost everything I owned, which, you know, happens from time to time. You get used to it. The trouble with being born. That sounds like a banger right there. On killing oneself. Sounds right up my alley. This right here actually seems like quite an interesting book. Finite and Infinite Games. Sounds like logic of the infinite and game theory type stuff, which is always, you know, interesting to me. Yeah, upon reading this description, I'm actually not sure if it's about like mathematical game theory. Seems like it's about the philosophy of like literally games, but that actually sounds really interesting too. So, a philosophy of walking. Okay, now this sounds too good to be true. How you think about walking? How you walk while you're thinking? Huh. This actually sounds like it would be an amazing book to travel with, but unfortunately, you know, limited on space. But I mean, $10? Hell, I would buy it if I didn't already have a fucking book, man. Oh, there's a David Bentley Hart book. He's actually one of my favorite theist philosophers. I consider him to be quite a class act as far as theist philosophers go, because a lot of them really are quite embarrassing, but DBH is pretty cool. Oh, they got Nick Land. Wouldn't be a complete philosophy collection without some Nick Land, right? Marxist modernism? Isn't that like a tautology, kind of? Isn't that kind of redundant? Because Marxism is a modernist philosophy, and that's why postmodern neo-Marxism is a oxymoron. Kind of weird. We got some Bertrand Russell, of course. Love to see that. We got some Massimo Pigliucci, who has a really fun name to say. But it's a book about Stoicism, which is kind of a lame philosophy in my opinion, so, you know, kind of a mixed bag there. But shout out to Pigliucci, I know that guy. Henry David Thoreau. And there's my boy Wittgenstein. He's probably my favorite philosopher if I had to pick one. So it's good that they got a little bit of Wittgenstein. I mean, how could they not? How could you have a serious philosophy section and call yourself a bookstore and not have any Wittgenstein, right? And now it looks like we're on to the books about drugs and mythology and stuff. So that's pretty much the end of the philosophy section, but pretty cool. We have some William S. Burroughs. That's always nice to see. And a single copy of On the Road. Nice. At least they have one, you know. Alright, I decided to get out of there now. I spent quite a bit of time, maybe half an hour to an hour in there, just browsing the books, which was good because I wanted to kill some time anyway, as you remember. And now that it's a little bit darker out, it's starting to get a little more popping down here. You know, we're starting to see the I guess bar hopping crowd and stuff come out. I mean, I don't know. It might not be late enough for them yet, but what the hell? 2 New Yorker slices, 79 tax. Who said they're New Yorker slices? What the hell does that mean? Does a New Yorker actually own the place, or is everyone just claiming to be New York style or from New York or have some connection to New York? Blunt Sluts Cannabis Club. What the fuck kind of a name is that? Yeah. I mean, this part of town is pretty cool, I must say. I mean, like, if I were going to live in DC, this would probably be the sort of area I'd want to live around. I will say that. And if I had to be on the streets in DC, this would probably be also an area where I'd be hanging around a lot, trying to make money, you know, especially at night. Because it seems like there's kind of something for everyone here. Well, maybe not literally, not in the same sense as like New York City, where you pretty much literally have something for everyone. But I mean, there seems to be different, like, you know, different vibes at these different restaurants depending on what you're looking for, you know. So it seems like definitely a good place to go if you have money, or if you're trying to make money, or if you just want to be around some activity, you know. Not sure if this is mostly tourist activity or local activity. I would assume local, because I think the tourists are mostly going to be downtown, and this is where the locals go to have fun mostly, but might be some tourists here too. There might be a mix. Not too sure. I mean, I'm here, ain't I? But I'm also not your average tourist. I kind of have a little bit of a different agenda when I go on a little trip to a city than your average tourist does. But anyway, I'm just going to keep walking and looking around here. And yeah, maybe I'll hang out here for another hour or so until it gets a little bit darker, until it's really, you know, starting to pop. Well, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know how long I'll hang out, but I am actually getting quite tired, I noticed. And I would like to go back to Bill's place and just relax. You know, I have been out for many more hours than I was expecting at this point. Really, I was expecting to be gone for like 3 or 4 hours, and I've already been gone for close to 5, I think. So it's you know, it's getting late. Well, not that late, but it's getting, you know, I've been out later than I expected, is what I mean to say. So I'll you know, probably not stay out too late or anything, especially since I might be, you know, the plan still looks like I'm supposed to be leaving and going to Baltimore tomorrow morning. And Graham texted me and said he wants to try to hang out tonight, you know, before I go and stuff too. So I want to get back at a reasonable time and hang out with Graham and Bill and stuff, hopefully, you know, especially since Bill is being so nice and letting me stay in his place and everything. I don't want to like be an asshole guest who's just like, all right, thanks for letting me stay here, and then just goes out and does my own thing without keeping him company, you know? Like, I think that I obviously don't have money to pay people or anything to stay with them, but the least I can offer when someone offers me to, or let me stay with them, is my company, you know? And I think that at the very least I can provide good company, and that's my strong suit. You know, hopefully the people who have taken me in agree. I think most of them do, but that would obviously be for them to judge. But yeah, so you know, it's not like he said he was cool with me going out and stuff. It's not, you know, not like he was like, oh, come hang out with me or whatever. He was doing his own thing. You know, I'm sure he doesn't care that much. But at the same time, I always like, yeah, when I'm a guest somewhere, I feel like I want to hang out with my host, you know. But at the same time, it's like I got to go out and work now and do adult things now that I'm trying to make a YouTube career, you know, and actually, you know, create a somewhat stable source of income for myself. So, yeah. Oh, and that right there is Tryst. I've heard about that place too. It's like a hipstery coffee shop place, I guess. Yeah, I know I said earlier that like I wouldn't recommend coming to DC and trying to live outside here and shit, but if you are walking around with a backpack, making yourself stick out like a sore thumb, this might be one place to do it, you know, to hang outside and try to chat up the hipsters, because, you know, some of them sometimes tend to be okay with travelers. Although there's, you know, also a certain species of hipster who probably will give you a wide berth and not make eye contact with you. But, you know, it's there's multiple kinds, you know. So if you find the right hipsters, then you might be able to make some money or even score a couch or whatever around this sort of area right here. That's what I would think anyway. But thankfully, I'm not going to be having to find out the hard way whether that's true or not in this case, because I don't have to sleep outside here. Lucky me. Oh my God, like how grateful I am every once in a while when I don't have to sleep outside, you know? Well, you know, to be fair, I haven't been sleeping outside at all for the last like 4 nights, but you know, this is not necessarily the norm. Well, I mean, when I'm traveling, I actually do kind of more often than not seem to find places, but if I'm like home bumming in one place for too long, then that's when I usually start having to sleep outside. So that's why I would generally recommend trying to move along before you overstay your welcome in a city if you're doing this sort of thing. Because like, man, getting to a new city and like, you know, making friends in the new city and stuff, it can feel like fucking awesome at first. It usually does for me, especially if you're a social person. Like, people will treat you like a fucking celebrity if they find out you're a traveler, you know, and you go to the right places and meet the right people. But yeah, just after a while, the vibe kind of shifts, and it feels like you're not as welcome there anymore. It's hard to describe. That happened to me in Nashville, and that's how I ended up getting a fucking warrant in Davidson County that I still haven't resolved to this day. So, you know, let this be a lesson. Anyway, honestly, I think I'm probably ready to be done here. I don't think that I need to really hang out much later, because even if it might get a little busier a little later, I don't think there will be much else to see. Like, I think it'll change in scale, not in scope, if that makes sense. Like, it's just gonna be more of the same, but busier probably. And like, you know, I've seen that in New York City and stuff. I've seen the nightlife districts. I just wanted to come check out some of the places here because I had never been here before, and I wanted to make some commentary on them or whatever, and just see how it looks as it's starting to get dark, at least. But yeah, I don't really feel the need to hang out here much longer, so I think I'm going to now go to the nearest bus stop and try to head back to my friend's place and hang out for the rest of the night. And I'm probably going to end the video here as well, unless something interesting happens later tonight, in which case there might be, you know, one more little bonus clip or something. But yeah, for now I'm gonna probably be ending this off pretty soon, so yeah. Okay, I actually do want to go to one more place real quick on my way back, but I gotta make good time because my phone's at 11% and I really don't want it to die, because otherwise I will not know how to find my way back to where I'm going, so that would suck. Alright, here we are. This right here, this is a bar called the Black Cat. Again, I'm not like going into a bar tonight or anything, but from what I heard about this place, it has kind of an alternative vibe, vegan options and everything. If I was going to go to a bar tonight, this would probably be the place that I would try out. It's not in Adams Morgan, it's a little bit further to the east. I don't know exactly what neighborhood it's in right now, but yeah, it's seems like a cool place from what I've heard and everything. So yeah, maybe check that out if you're similar to me and that sounds like your kind of vibe. But anyway, my phone's at like 2% now, and I'm about to get lost and not be able to find my way back to where I'm staying. So now I'm gonna really end this here for now. All right, I am back at Bill's place now, and I'm about to end off the video here because there's a dog barking over there, unfortunately. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the recording too much. But yeah, just wanted to end things off. Hope you enjoyed exploring DC with me in this video. Fuck off, dog. And my Discord and Patreon and coffee will be in the description as always. Very distracting over there. So if you want to support me there on Patreon or coffee or whatever, or join my Discord server, you can go check that out. My Instagram too. I usually don't mention that, but my Instagram's down there as well. And if you like the video, remember to give it a like. Comment if you have something to say, subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to see more of my videos and you enjoy my content and me in general. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow morning I am planning on heading to Baltimore, so the next video will be about Baltimore before I head north to Delaware and beyond. So thanks for joining me today. Goodbye. What the hell? There's a bunny right here, man. He's just chilling. What's up, little bunny? What are you doing? I've never seen a bunny just stand so close to me before and not even be scared. He's got some grass in his mouth, it looks like. Huh. Be safe, little fella.